Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Welcome. You've clicked on Matthewperry's health critique. This month marks 1 year since his passing. There is some mainstream commentary that he was addicted to substances and whatnot. We all know his yo-yoing of his physique, especially during his time in Friends and after that as well. And most of the mainstream would like to suggest that Matthewperry, this is code to reference Matthewperry here, is like a code for other people which are struggling with their health, weight and addiction. It also feeds into my forage theory I've been commenting on recently. So it's understood that he suffered from depression and anxiety. He overdosed, or it's said that apparently accidental overdose of ketamine. He was getting infusions, that sort of thing, to treat his depression. Or was it depression and anxiety? Anyway, that was his major issue at the time. He died age 54, a very premature passing. So what I'm going to try and suggest today, that it's not just food addiction, alcohol, smoking, drug addiction, which is spurred on. This is the mainstream I'm talking about now. Anxieties, upbringing, stresses in the home when you were growing up, trauma, all those sort of things. I'd like to suggest that yes, it's unfortunate that most of humanity has had some sort of trauma as they're growing up, but also not all of us struggle with the downstream effects, apparently, with drinking, smoking, overeating, obesity, drug taking, and the mental illnesses that stem from those experiences. I'm using Matthewperry as an example where, for his sort of case, for his sort of presentation of fluctuating weight, drinking, smoking and drug taking is and here it is, the kicker where I'll lose most, micronutrient deficiencies. And for my 2.2 regulars, you know I was going to suggest that. So going back mid-90s or around the year 2000, when it was noted, where he fluctuated in his weight quite a bit into the new millennium. His heavier weight suggested he was recovering, and his reduction in weight suggested he was struggling with addictions. Vicodin, based on a 1997 accident, pain meds, all that sort of thing. Addiction, well, yes, they are addictive drugs, but your propensity to become addictive is also based on not getting enough micronutrients. And also not getting enough micronutrients, you'll be more susceptible to overeating. Being deficient in micronutrients has you more susceptible to gaining weight, which is a form of pica, P-I-C-A, A Google search doesn't do a good job in explaining what pica is. Pica is a non-nutritive consumption of non-food substance, non-food things like paper, glue, paint, light bulbs, hair, nails, that sort of thing. Trichotillomania, the people that eat their hair. Or was it trichotillomania? That's hair, yes. And micronutrient deficiencies. And if you've got a combination, depression, anxiety, overeating, smoking, drinking, drug taking, the whole 9 yards, you've hit a home run there. Micronutrient deficiencies, people. I know. Not really the drug taking, but the smoking, drinking, and overeating. Been there. And ever since I understood that micronutrients are part of the picture, being satiated with the micronutrients got me out of that state of even mental health issues. So I don't mean to use Matthewperry's name as an example here for this idea that I'm presenting. I've presented it before. This idea, I've even referenced, I've had a whole celebrity health series thing which I started a couple of years ago. And I referenced quite a few names in that, a couple of Aussies, a few American celebrities and whatnot, sports people and performers. And yeah, there's examples. Not very polished presentation. This isn't polished either. I get it. But micronutrients. Okay, so when Matthewperry was struggling with his weight, he was off the drinking, smoke. Well, probably still drinking, smoking. Not much drug taking, but he was overeating, and that's pica, P-I-C-A. All right, if you want to do some more digging, some proper digging, I can help you out with pica. But it's all foraging. Your body is screaming out for micronutrients, and when you're off the drugs, you're on the food. Off the food, on the drugs. And unfortunately, that's my hypothesis of how Matthewperry was struggling, because I can relate. I don't want to say that I'm more successful than him. He was more monetarily successful, that's for sure. But the whole drinking, smoking, drug taking, and overeating complex is your body just screaming from the rooftops to the point of mental illness that you are deficient in some and most of the micronutrients that we need. This is where I tear in to what I prescribe. What I prescribe for the world. The Health 44. This regimen that I call, this clumsy branding. Health happens when you do the 44. Health 44. The first 44 is you take away 90+% of the supermarket 4 categories of food. Glutens, oils, sugars, nitrates, nitrites. Eliminated. Yes, it's an elimination diet, but it will be made easy. Your marriage, your emotional attachment to those foods will be easily satiated away by taking in the 4 classes of micronutrients. There's 90 declared essential micronutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids. The 90 declared essential micronutrients, the mainstream healthcare complex suggests there's 37 essential micronutrients. Before they deem the next mineral, for example, deem it as essential. The last one was deemed essential in 1950, iodine. By the time the next one comes along, we'll be dying. We'll die waiting. Take in the 90 essential micronutrients that all vertebrates contain in their physiology, and that is the cleanest of slates in our health. seems a bit macabre for me to mention that if Matthewperry would have done something like the Health 44, gluten, going off gluten to absorb from the diet and the supplements that we all need these days, because our food supply chain is stuffed, very impaired for at least the last 140 years. And getting rid of the oils and the sugars are giving us those scary cholesterol numbers, not saturated fat. We need saturated fat, very important for the cholesterol intake for our brain and hormone health. And there's another kicker. Cholesterol is important for your brain. 90% of the myelin sheath in our brain is cholesterol. 75% of the brain weight, I think, might be cholesterol. 70%? It's around there. It's more than 2/3, I recall seeing in the past. We need to take in saturated fat for the cholesterol. Cholesterol is our friend, not our foe. Those scary cholesterol numbers we don't understand. And if we were to eat more saturated fat, we'd have less mental illness in our community, in our society, even at home and at church, our club, whatever. It affects me a little bit because I related to Matthewperry's ordeal. I didn't have a broken family like he did. His childhood had a bit of neglect in there, and then he moved from Canada to LA, and he did well. He did well, considering. But doing the Health 44, there's 4 problem foods. The micronutrients that we need to take in, we need to supplement it, because for the last 140 years, our farming soils are being depleted each and every year, drip, 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 and our life expectancy will not be getting greater. It's going to go south. I've made a call several times on this podcast series. It is going to go south. It is going south. Every 50 years from now on, we're going to drop 5 years in life expectancy. The reason why our life expectancy doubled in the last century was because of infant mortality rates going from 1 in every 20 babies born dying, and astronomical infant mortality rates, and now infant mortality rates have effectively gone, 1% now, I think, roundabouts. So that's an easy fix for the statisticians to go from average life expectancy of 40 to 80. It's just in the birth defect, the birthing problems and infant mortality rates. When you eliminate that, it's easy. It's easy. A doubling of life expectancy. There was octogenarians walking around 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 3,000 years ago. There was octogenarians everywhere. And it's getting worse. We had 25 per 10,000 centenarians in the population a century ago. Now it's 1 in 10,000. Yet our life expectancy doubled. You'll see how infant mortality rates just fix things. So to lose Matthewperry at 54, very premature. In a few hundred years, that'll be the norm if we don't understand micronutrients. Mental health, niacin deficiencies, vitamin B12, all the whole vitamin B complex is very important in mental health. Yeah, I used to be a mental health nurse, and I saw some wonders with supplementing people with thiamine, but it goes far beyond that. Vitamin B1. So there you have it. Sorry to use for the people that felt for or know Matthewperry, liked Matthewperry, admired him. I admired his talents. Prematurely lost. I'm sorry to use his name as an example of what is happening to us all. He suffered a lot. There will be more suffering like he is suffering if we don't grasp the whole micronutrients complex, like he suffered, like I suffered and got out of. So that's it for now. Sorry to be using his name like this, but we need to get this through. I need to get this through. Hopefully it will become we. So thanks for that. Hopefully until the next time, bye bye.